What's going on, guys? It's Tim back again for another video again, but this time to talk about Sphere 3D. Now this is a Bitcoin miner. If you didn't know, it's a very small cap. There is currently a lot of fear in this one, and for good reason, but there's also something interesting coming up for it. But let's take a look at Sphere 3D. I'm going to look at some news, we're going to look at the chart, and I'll give you a couple of side notes here and there. And for this one, the ticker is ANY. But let's do this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of the links will be down below for you, as well as some free stocks and cryptos. And let's take a peek at Sphere 3D. First off, the chart. There's not a lot to say besides it's very bearish. It's been in a long-term downtrend. Ever since the deal fell through with Griffin, this stock just completely sold off. It was fun swinging this while it lasted. I exited this shortly after the Griffin deal fell through. This company went under new management. And honestly, I kind of gotta say I like this CEO a little more than the last one, but I digress. But yeah, chart-wise, this doesn't look very good. It recently hit a new low. People are obviously aware that they are likely going to have to reverse split. They are under $1. They risk getting delisted from the NASDAQ. The company's financially not in the best shape. They're not profitable. A lot of issues happen with their Bitcoin mining. They got rigs like locked up with shipping issues pretty much. Things do seem to be looking up. We'll look into that in a second. One thing that I found really weird here, and maybe you guys can help me out here, is they have an estimated revenue of 197 million. This company typically makes somewhere around like 1 to 2 million. So I'm very curious about that. But don't worry, it's going to get better. I'm still setting you guys up for the bad, and then we're going to get to some good here. So they did get some important side notes about this mining. So the mining itself wasn't all that spectacular, but there are some interesting notes here. They did get 10 Bitcoin mined in the month. Not a big deal. Their current holdings are 90 Bitcoin, which is about 1.5 million. Okay, but let's look at the CEO comments here. Patricia, the CEO, says November was a month of significant achievements for Sphere 3D. With the announced restructuring of our BitFuFu contract, we are anticipating the delivery and energization of thousands of new miners. BitFuFu has shipped more than 11,000 miners to the US, which we expect to arrive in the coming weeks. When energized, these machines will dramatically increase our production capacity. And moving on a parallel path, we are working closely with the new operator of the Wolf Hollow site to energize our approximately 3,336 installed miners, otherwise 3,336 installed miners. This is going to be fun to edit. Delays in energization have been complicated by legal restrictions associated with Compute North's bankruptcy proceedings. But she goes on to say, we expect a significant portion of these miners to be hashing in the coming days and are doing everything possible to accelerate their energization. And then going more into this Compute North debacle here, as previously disclosed, the company shipped 4,026 miners to Compute North before its bankruptcy filing. About 3,336 miners from that order were installed at what was formerly known as Compute North's Wolf Hollow site. Now these miners are expected to be energized in the coming days. The balance of the miners, approximately 690, remain at a Compute North storage facility awaiting a decision by the bankruptcy court or a communication from Compute North. So this might get trapped in the bankruptcy potentially. That's not very good. The company is in constant contact with the new operator and continues to reach out to Compute North to gain access to our miners at their facility. But I'll leave the link to this one down below for you. It's a little bit more recent. And we've got another quote by the CEO. The increase in production capacity is great news for the company and our shareholders. We continue to push for energizing the balance of the 4,026 order as quickly as possible. I'm also looking forward to receiving the almost 12,000 miners that are currently in transit to the US, due to arrive before the end of the year. So here's another confirmation of those miners that they're waiting for. And Sphere 3D's production capacity is set to grow dramatically in the near term, which is anticipated to favorably impact the company's ongoing financial performance. Now we've definitely got a mixed bag with Sphere 3D. We've definitely got some issues here coming up with a potential reverse split. And I'm no financial advisor, I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't touch this company. I would keep an eye on it though, and see if that hash rate does start dramatically increasing and those margins get better, and hey, maybe sometime in 2023 they can turn a profit. But until we get closer to that point, I will stay on the sidelines, but I do think it's worth keeping in the watch list. But how do you guys feel about Sphere 3D? Haven't talked about this one in a bit. There's definitely some positives and negatives to this one, and currently it does seem like the negatives outweigh the positives, but regardless, it's still worth keeping an eye on. Thanks as always, guys, and take it easy.